And welcome, Kaizer Chiefs fans and all football fans. It's SoccerBeat, and we're talking Kaizer Chiefs, and got Kaizer Chiefs left back, Bafana left back, Tsepo Masilela joining me, Peter Du Toit. Thanks for joining us, guys. And it's an exciting time to be a Kaizer Chiefs fan. The club has announced their 3 new signings and the possibility of launch. They're in discussions with launch and possibly even a Jamie Webber. What Tsepo and I are going to do in the first third of the show, we're going to look at the positives of this signing and why they're good signings. And then we take a break and we look at what could go wrong with these signings, where the negatives. And then finally, in the last third, Tsepo and myself are going to select our starting 11 for the derby on the weekend. Right, Tsepo, let's talk about, first of all, Morris. We spoke about it last week. New signing. What are the plus factors as far as you're concerned about Morris? Why is Morris going to be a very good signing for Kaizer Chiefs? I've had a lot of fans on Twitter asking me this. Let me hear from you. Why is Morris going to be a good signing? Not the negatives. Why do you think he'll be a good signing for Kaizer Chiefs?
Peter, when it comes to Morris, he's a guy that's familiar with our league. He's been playing the PSL top flight division for years now. He's got the experience, and he's a type of player that is good in aerial and he can hold the ball, because if you look at the Chiefs team, when they come, the attacking players, they need someone that they can link up with, to try and play and get behind the defenders, and that's his strength. I think it suits the Kaizer Chiefs style of play, and as I said, he's been around PSL for years now. He's at the age where you don't worry about him adjusting or adapting. He's past those stages in his career. So that's my take on it.
I'd agree with you, and I'd add one thing as well. The bottom line is no one else. The only other option is Silvero, and he's not doing the business. Yes, he scored against free agents, but he's certainly struggling. And the crowd is on his back. You definitely can't start him in the derby. Dupree's injured. Your only option up front is either to play with a false 9, which they're definitely not going to do. Morris definitely has to start. And he's going to be a good signing because he's the only guy who can play up front right now. Unless they sign somebody before that as a striker, he's the number 1 striker right now. Has he got the ability? He's at the end of his career. He's got nothing to lose. He's good in the air. He's physical. He understands the game. He knows the league. And this is his last chance to make a big name for himself. So I think he'll start in the derby. And I think there's low expectations from the fans from him. And I think he will actually hit the ground running. And I think he'll run his guts out for Kaizer Chiefs, and he'll get at the end of crosses. And I think he could actually be a very, very good signing. He could be the shock signing of the season, funny enough. Nabi likes him, so he's seen something in him. Great goal he scored against Chiefs in the league, away from home.
League, yeah.
So I think that's going to be a positive. But for the main reason, there's no one else, guys. Who else are going to play up front? Me? I'm 66. Well, I would score goals. But, right, let's look at Makabi Lilepo. He can play, he's a right-footed player. He can play either wing, but looking at the videos, seems to play more on the right-hand side. He scored goals, but he's definitely a winger. Your thoughts? You've obviously seen the videos as well. You've done the write-up. We did a long chat about him last week as well. Good signing, yes or no? And then what are the plus factors?
The plus factors for me, Peter, looking at that he's already been at the AFCON tournament and he's played the Champions League. Obviously, we'll need a bit of, South African league is not an easy league where you can just come and, hit the ground running. Sometimes it does happen, but the plus factor is also, an African boy, from the continent. I'm sure he's seen our league, he's watched it, and again. The another plus with him, the coach knows him, and the coach is the one that wanted him, and I'm sure because of also the language with the coach speaking French and he's from Congo, that will also help him settle quickly in South Africa. Yeah.
Spot on. I think you're spot on there. He knows he's the coach's signing. Just like Morris, he knows the coach's signing. And Tsepo, I know as an ex-player, but I played a long time ago, my memory's going. When you know the coach backs you, and that applies to Morris, he knows the coach signed him. He knows the coach believes in him. Makabi knows the coach signed him. The coach knows him. That helps the player tremendously. That's a big plus. And I agree with you. I think that'll work. What I like about this guy as well, looking at the videos, What I like him, he's a big man. He's 6 foot something in my language. In terms of, in meters, he's a big man. He's quick, but he's also skillful. On the videos I've seen, he cuts inside and he cuts outside and he scores and he's good in the air. So I think this guy could be a sensation. Let's look at it now. He's playing against Cross, if he plays. Cross will have not faced Cross, excuse me, sorry. He'll be playing against Hotto. Hotto will have not faced a fullback, a winger like him. Hotto will think twice about bombing down the line when this guy is out wide. It's not going to be a situation where it's small Kaizer Chiefs youngsters. He's physical. He can run. If the ball's put in behind, he can get there even if it's behind the 2 centre backs. I think this guy can be a sensation. He can swap with Sereno. Sereno can play on the right. He can go on the left. Then he takes on whoever's playing right back because Van Rooyen could be injured. I think if Sereno's fit, which it looks like, we had a good half against in the Nedbank Cup. I think this big guy from the Congo, the coach knows him. The coach will build up his confidence. He could be like a steam train going down there. And he's not like any. I've thought about it. I've gone through it. He's not like any other winger that we've got in this league. He's not a little tricky, nippy South African winger. He's powerful, in, out. I'm trying to think of a player that he's reminded me of, but I really think that this guy could set the stadium alight. And getting crosses that someone like Morris can get at the end of. And it's also, by the way, always good to have, when a new player starts, to have another new player starting with him, especially up front. They kind of know, we the new guys, I'll look for you, you look for me. So I think these 2 signings are excellent signings. Morris is going to surprise everybody, and this guy could really, really hit the ground running. He's got pace. I'm very impressed with the videos I've seen. Let's talk about Cele.
Yes, Thabo Cele.
If you look at his Wikipedia, his career, it looked like he was going to have a great start. Benfica signed him, but he only played for the B team. He seemed to go downhill after that. He went to Poland, top division, did well, got himself a move in the Russian top division. So he adapts. He's never played in the PSL. But if I look at the videos, he looks like a man who can get the ball, get it back. He links in play. He's a very good attacking player. He's got long range pass, short range. And what I like the most, Tsepo, he's always available for a pass. And when we spoke last week on Sunday about the Chiefs game, the last Chiefs game, I said that Shaba's a player who can get it and give it back, but he also needs somebody else doing that, a mobile player. And he looks very mobile. I think also could be a sensation. This could be 3 of the best signings, especially the latter 2 I've just mentioned, could be 2 of the best signings this club's made in a long, long while. And Morris could be a surprise. But again, that's your views. What do you think from what you've seen him? And what have you heard? Have you heard anything at the training?
I think I've seen him play for the under-23s. I think it was the Olympic tournament, one of the Olympic tournaments. He's featured for the under-23. And I think he played all 3 games, if I'm not mistaken. Listen, he's a midfielder that brings, comfort to your centre back. So when you want to build up, you need that midfielder that gives you comfort. That he's going to avail himself for the ball and he's going to make the right pass, the right decision to move the team forward. He's not afraid to go collect the ball deep, and he can play in tight spaces. In modern football, as a midfielder, you need to be able to play. You need to think fast. You need to create space and time for yourself so you can progress with the ball or make the proper decision, your next move. So he looks the part, and I like the boy. As I said, I watched him play for the under-23s. He's got some caps also for under-20. I think 3 caps, if I'm not mistaken. So he's someone that's been there, in the junior levels of, national team, and it's not a name that we don't know in South African football. It's a guy that we know. And
I'll say it publicly now. I wouldn't be surprised if he's in the AFCON squad for Morocco, because we haven't seen. He's playing in countries we don't really look at. What I really like about him, he looks like a player who gets other players playing, because he's always available. And I feel that's what Shaba's tries to do it, but he's very high up. And I think with Cele there, he can get it off the back four, get it off his holding midfielders, I think you're going to find that he's the player that links this whole team together. And he's got a long-range pass as well. He can get those balls going to the two wingers. I'm very excited about. I'm looking forward to the game on the weekend. I hope he starts. Let's talk about
just to add a bit. When you talk about such midfielders, you remind me of Litsolonyane. He was that kind of a guy. We relied on him on the build-up. You'd find a team that tries to press us, but because Yeye was so mobile and so intelligent, we relied on him when we know that we can't build from the back, but we always look for Yeye. When you're in trouble as a full-back or centre-back, we always looked for Yeye, and he was the one who could connect from the defence, moving forward with the ball. So it's exciting time. I'm looking forward to seeing this Cele boy play for Kaizer Chiefs.
Great. In fact, you just remind me again, I'm only looking from videos. He looks like a player, and I hope Nabi allows him to do this as well. He's happy receiving the ball left side. He's happy receiving the ball right side, receiving it deep, receiving it sort of in an 8 position high up, in a kind of 10 position high up. So he's comfortable wherever he receives the ball because he always wants the ball, and he can play it long and short. And he's always linking up play. So I'm really excited about this. I hope the crowd give him time to settle into his game, and he plays it nice and simple initially. Let's talk about Launch, because there's talk of him signing him. First of all, should they sign him? And what do you think of him as a player? And is he a player? I mean, a lot of players coming from Sundowns to Chiefs and not making it. Even the question mark over Sereno, as good a player as he is, there's been issues. And Chiefs is not the retirement home for Sundowns, but home for Sundowns. What do you think of Launch? Should they try their hardest to sign the man? Because he is definitely available. He's not in Sundowns' plans, clearly.
When you look at Kaizer Chiefs' season, Peter, you want to say they're not the retirement village, but at the same time, if you can get there's short-term solution signings. If you're thinking along those lines, can he push us to a top 3 finish? Is the hunger there? Yes, the hunger is there. He hasn't played much at Sundowns. The hunger is there. Quality, when he's fit, we all know a fit Lodge, is one of the top 5, top 10 attacking midfielder in our country. So, I would look at short term. I think he can help the Kaizer Chiefs team, because if they have Sereno that, sometimes he gets injured and you want your star players, if one is not there, who comes and replaces, so I would sign Lodge, the quality definitely is there, and I think he's hungry. He wants to prove people wrong that he still got it, Lodge can still deliver.
True. Well, my 2 cents worth is opportunities don't come around like this often. He is one of the best players in this country when fit. I think his hunger is definitely still there. He definitely wants to play. He's had bad luck with injuries. I think we don't know obviously the money behind the deal and so on and so forth, but if they sign him and they've got the signings, the 3 that we've already spoken about, this could be a fun second half of the season for Kaizer Chiefs fans because he fits right into Nabi's way of playing. I mean, he's direct. It's the ball. So is Makabi. He's also direct. And I really think these. If I would really like Chiefs to sign him, I would urge Bobby Matwangan or Kaizer Jr., who's behind it, sign the man for your fans. As Tsepo says, forget his age. Age isn't just a number if you're a footballer. You need a player now to make a big difference. And I think with these experienced players coming in, the youngsters are just going to feel it's not going to be all on their shoulders. And Shaba will become a bigger player. Zwane will become a bigger player. I know some fans are not happy with Zwane, but I can think those 3 players in particular will become even better players. So, Chiefs fans, I think 10 out of 10 for your club. They pulled something out the bag. Morris, Makabi, and Ele. And I'll tell you what, push them to sign Lords because your second half of the season, you could find yourself in 3 or 4th spot. Nabi won't have any excuses after this. I think
no excuses.
We're going to take a short break and then we're going to come back and say, right, we looked at the positives. What are the potential negatives here? What could go wrong? We're not going to dwell on them because we obviously want, but let's be realistic. So see you after the break, guys. Don't go away. Welcome back, everybody. It's Talking Kaizer Chiefs, and it's my man Tsepo Masilela, and it's Peter Du Toit, and it's SoccerBeat. And we've spoken all the positives of the new signings. Let's look at it because we've got to be realistic. There's two sides of every coin. We're very excited about the possibilities here, and I think Chiefs fans should be incredibly excited. But let's look at where this could go wrong. We're not going to look at injuries because obviously anybody can break their leg
And
or
get injured.
Everybody's fit, including Launch because he has played. Where could this go wrong? And if let's look at someone like Morris, as we spoke about earlier. What are the potential negatives there? Sepa, I can think of quite a few, despite the fact that I think it could be.
You know, when it's for the fans, you know, they need to understand that some strikers they fit the game model of the coach. So the negative is Peter, he doesn't score. He's not a 15 goals plus per season striker. I've never seen him do that. Maybe he might surprise, you know, he might surprise us and bang in goals for Kaizer Chiefs, you know. But that's the only worry I have, that if he does, are the fans gonna understand that he's not a 15 goals per season striker. But if he can help the team and he fits the game module of the coach and he can make the others shine, you know, sometimes as a striker, if you can't take the goal, you can make the goal, you know. So some strikers they help the system and everyone shines around them, you know. So that's my only worry.
And
The expectations, is it gonna
I
handle
urge
the
fans because I think I can draw a comparison. Not that they're similar players, but they could be seen in a similar vein. Is Nkatha, when you were there, when you won the league, he was a coach's striker. He was a player striker. He did all the hard work. He wasn't a good finisher, but he made the job easier for the other striker or the midfielders, and he was a hassle for the defenders. And that's where Morris. Let me tell you something, guys, Chiefs fans out there. That's Morris's role. His job is to get up in there, cause damage to the defenders, and allow spaces for those Serena and the wingers and those midfielders to come through, and obviously be available for the ball. The problem will be that we all know he's not a natural finisher, and he's never been an out-and-out striker. But guys, it's the best you've got right now. So I suggest you support him. But that could be the problem. And if his mindset is not right, if he worries about his game, because, you know, Sekekune let him go. SuperSport have let him go. So how could he be possibly good enough for Kaizer Chiefs? But
for Kaizer Chiefs,
that doesn't mean he's not going to do a hell of a job for Kaizer Chiefs. But that's on the negative side. We've already spoken the positive side. Let's look at the Congolese, Makabi. Where are the negatives there? Obvious first one, doesn't know our league, come from the third division. He could find this league much harder. And he's playing against Hotto, his first game if he plays on the right-hand side. He could be chasing back more than anything else.
You've just mentioned a few that I'm going to touch on, you know, not knowing the league and maybe a bit of the language barrier with the teammates. You know, it might take maybe some time but the coach obviously is there for him. And listen, Peter, I think the only thing that he will be charged, because we're all saying it's Nabi's signing, you know. So if he doesn't do well, they look at the coach like, what are you bringing us? You know, but I'm sure he doesn't yet understand the language, so it won't be too much in his head. But yeah, I can only think of you know, with DR Congo's players, they don't really do well at Kaizer Chiefs. That's also my only worry. You know, we look at now Siali. We all expected, you all had high expectations, you know, but it didn't live up to those expectations, and I think it's gonna be loaned out. So yeah, I mean
Siali had just one thing he could do: get the ball left foot and cut in on his left foot, or try and go down the line. This guy definitely from the videos has got much more. The one problem, which we have to say, we've only seen him on video. So, you know, video, they don't put the bad stuff on the video. So that's my only problem. We haven't seen, you see the best stuff when you see the videos. And that doesn't apply to Morris. We know him exceptionally well. But that also applies to Nele, is that, you know, we've just seen videos and you don't see the bad
videos. We've seen videos.
Have you seen, you know, he should adapt easier being South African and understanding the environment. But he's going from a small club in a good league to a really massive club with a huge expectation. So is he a Chiefs player mentally? That would be my potential weakness. And he's got it. That's what he's got to, Tsepo, they've got to learn what you did. You went to Israel, to a top team, by the way, just to let everybody know. Tsepo went to a team that played Champions League. And he went to a Serie A team. You've got to say, I don't give a damn. I deserve to be here. I deserve this jersey. And that's the kind of attitude he's going to have. Otherwise, he won't do well. And that's not an easy thing to have. Your comment?
With my only worry with, if you look at the position he's playing in, as an 8-6, you need to form that kind of partnership. You need someone that's gonna complement him. So, and I'm looking at this Kaizer Chiefs team right now. We're not really 100% sure who's the 6, who's the 8. Sometimes you see Ox is more like holding, but he tends to be everywhere in the game, pressing in areas that I think he shouldn't even be worried about. So my only worry is, if he's gonna be a starter, who is he gonna play with? Is he gonna play with the Mart? Because in my opinion, Mart is a 8. Is he gonna play with the Zwane? So it's a point of him, how long will it take for him to form a partnership with whoever is gonna, because you need to complement one another. You can't have a 2 years or 3 years in the midfield. You need a Kasande, Yeye, and a Parker is a 10, or Shaba is a 10. So that midfield combination, they need to kind of get it right, like Kaizer Chiefs. That's where you can dominate, control games, and that's my only worry with him.
I agree, and I worry with Ox going all over the place because Nabi allows him to, and I think there should be more shape. But lastly, let's talk about Lorch. Risks signing there obviously is injury. That he's injury prone, and the fact that Chiefs Sundowns players haven't really succeeded. That's the only risk there with Lorch. I don't think it's an attitude thing. That's the only risk. And you know what? Do a fitness test on his knee and look at his injuries. And if the medical says he's okay, then handle him with care. I think that should be the answer. If he can only train 3 days a week, he only trains 3 days. Don't overload him with games or with training sessions. You know that yourself as a player.
Yeah, definitely. The only risk you'd say is injuries. Injuries are there for everyone. And again, you don't want to have 5, 7 star players and then they unsettle the camp. Sometimes when you have these super talented players and you have a Sereno, a Lodge, and you can't please everyone as a coach. So I don't know.
That's a big risk as well.
It's a bit of managing the egos of especially the big players.
Yeah.
Those are the ones that sometimes they are a bit difficult to.
I don't think Nabi's scared of managing egos. Last point, just quickly before we take a break and then come back to our starting 11s for the derby. Jamie Webber, no need to sign him anymore, I would imagine.
No need, Peter. If you look at the development of Du Shabalala since the season started, I'm happy. I see a bright future in that boy. And then again, you also have the Vilagazi in Fundo, you have the Dubas. You still want to, give minutes to Mutlo is just George has just come back, so you still have Zwane, so you don't want to, exactly, so the development of the other young boys still has to be there, you still want to see them develop and, grow with the game and learn and improve. They can only improve if they play, if they're given minutes.
Correct. Let's take a very short break, guys. Then I'm going to come back and give you what I believe is my starting lineup for Kaizer Chiefs against against Pirates in the derby. It's a bit controversial. I'm sure Tsepo is not going to agree with me. We haven't compared notes. Tsepo, maybe I'll go first. See you after the break.
Golden liquid pouring, gold splashing, gold swirling, waves of gold foaming, cut to reveal more gold. It's easy to make a beer that looks gold, but to make a beer that wins gold, that's a different story. Carling Black Label, Africa's most awarded beer.
Welcome back. It's Talking Kaizer Chiefs, and I'm with Tsepo Masilela and Peter Du Toit. Talking Kaizer Chiefs, brought to you by SoccerBeat. Right, our starting 11 for the derby. My starting 11, maybe slightly controversial. I got Vume in goals. Frosler right back, left back cross, Miguel Dortley the centre backs. Blom as my holding midfielder. Now, it's a little hard on Ox because I think he's been the best player for a long time. The only reason I'm putting Blom in, I'd put Ox ahead of him if Ox would follow the instruction that he doesn't move from the central holding position. So it's either Ox or Blom, but they've got to stay in front of the two centre backs. The reason why one of them has got to be one of them playing is that that's where the danger comes from Pirates, because Moffigan comes in there, Tito comes in there, Mabasa moves out. That's the area. You've got to have three people in that centre, the two centre backs and a holding midfielder, and he cannot go and join in. My problem with Ox, he loves to go joining in, whereas Blom will stand. I would prefer Ox if he stayed. But would he stay? So if he does, I'm putting Blom in in the interim, although Ox has done exceptionally well. Then I've got Cele and Shaba as my attacking midfielders. Obviously, they do a defensive role as well on either side of Blom, but they're my attacking midfielders and both going back and forward. Morris down the centre, Sereno on the left, and he can interchange with the Makabi on the right. I'm playing all the new boys. The reason being to give Pirates something to think about. They know what Villicars is about. They know what Shivara is about. This will give them something to think about. They don't know. There's no stats on them in South African football. And I think that Chiefs team could surprise Pirates. But, I'm not a supporter of either team, but I think that is going to create a derby that's going to be very, very exciting. Okay. I know you're going to take that team apart. I'm sure you're not happy with my guys.
No, 80, 90% I'm with you there, Peter. Obviously, Bavuma in goals. I'll go for cross left back, Dorothy and Miguel and Riva. My middle three would be Ox, Blom, and Tsepo Cele. Straight away, I play with a middle three. And up front, I'll go with a front three. I'll go with Morris, Sereno, and Makabi Lilepo. That's my system, And again, I looking at the game. With new signings, Peter, in such a game, they can never be wrong. Whatever happens, it's only going to be the coach's fault. If they don't play well, the coach they only train 4 days. Why do you start them? The coach. With them, the pressure is not on them. I told them to go and enjoy yourself. If they play well, Nabi is a genius. He brought perfect signing. So pressure is not on them. And I'll play with the middle three. I want Sereno to kind of be my outlet, the first pass to him, and I'll use the speed of Makabi and Morris, to go forward. I'll play a 4-3-3.
Well, you know what? I don't know if Nabi's going to listen to either of us, but I think it's going to be a fantastic derby. I can't wait to watch it. I'm sure the whole country echoes the same sentiments. Guys, thanks for watching. Let us know in the comment section what you thought of our views on the players, on the positives and the negatives. We really appreciate it. And we'll keep you updated what happens with launch. Tsepo, take us out as usual. Hey.
Kaizer Chiefs. No, Peter. Yes, from my side, thank you, everyone. Don't forget to like, subscribe, share, and comment. And we really appreciate your views, guys, and your comments. We don't take it lightly and for granted. We like the feedback. We like it when you engage, and we in this together. Thank you, everyone.
And ring the bell. Cheers, guys.